Welcome to Erika's Best, where I will bring you the best of the best and more. Hi today. I am happy to be here today. I am here baking cookies, and I thank you for stopping by and baking cookies with me. Today I am going to make peanut butter chip cookies with chunks of peanut butter chips and peanuts. So let's get to the recipe. In my bowl here I have 1.5 cups of brown sugar and 1/2 cup of regular sugar and 1 teaspoon of vanilla. I'm going to add that to my bowl. And to that, I'm going to add 1 cup of butter. All of this can happen in a regular bowl, just with your hands or with a wooden spoon or with whatever you have. If you don't have a stand mixer, don't worry about it. My mother didn't have a stand mixer when I was growing up. Guess what she used? These are nature's hands. These are nature's mixers. They work. And this is what my mom used when she made cookies and she was making big batches of cookies. She didn't worry about having a wooden spoon or any other kind of spoon. She used these. She washed her hands good and she used these. They work wonderful. But I have a mixer, so I'm using it. So we want to cream together the butter and sugar and make it nice and fluffy. Nice and fluffy. I'm just going to stir it down a little bit, give it another little mix, and then I'll add my eggs. It's nice to mix together. I'm going to put 2 eggs. Cookies are so easy to make. You throw some ingredients together, put some mix-ins in, and you have a cookie. I remember one time when I was a kid, I was visiting my aunt and we wanted to make some cookies. She didn't have a recipe, because, I don't know why she didn't have a recipe, but but we threw some stuff together, and she had some peanut butter chips. That's why I'm saying it, because she had some peanut butter chips. We put all that stuff together and we made some delicious cookies. She taught me that you don't have to have a recipe. If you have some ingredients, some eggs, some butter, some sugar, some flour, and something to mix in with it, then you can make some cookies. Experiment. Cookies is the best thing to experiment with because it's so easy. It's not like a cake. Because with the cake, you're waiting for a cake to get nice and fluffy, and if you don't have your measurements properly together, then you might come out with a cake that's flat as a pancake. So cakes are a little bit more detailed when you're mixing around. But with cookies, it's different because even if you come out with a flat cookie, who cares? It's supposed to be flat. If you have good ingredients in there, you have some eggs, you have some butter, you have some sugar, then you're going to have some semblance of a cookie. So, and that's all you want. It's an easy snack. It's an easy after school treat. It's an easy, thing to add to your kids' lunch. Something that came from home. Something that's an additional thing to show them how much you love them. Bake a cookie today. So I'm going to add it here now. My flour, which is 2 3/4 cup of flour, 1 teaspoon of baking soda, and 1 teaspoon of salt. So I'm going to mix that in right now. When you're mixing your flour in, you don't want to over mix it because you want a chewy, a soft, a moist cookie. And if you let your cookie mixed too long, then the flour will start developing gluten and you'll come out with rock hard cookie. And you don't want that. So you just want to get your ingredients mixed together, and once they're mixed in, all incorporated, then I'll show you what this cookie dough looks like once it's all incorporated. This is very similar to a chocolate chip cookie dough. So it's gotta be thick. It's gonna be thick, as you can see. This is the consistency. It's very thick. It hangs on to the beater, and that's what you want. That's what your dough is supposed to look like. It's supposed to be thick. You can handle it. It's so thick you can handle it. So, and now I'm going to add my mix-ins in. This is my peanut butter chips and my peanuts. And I have whole peanuts. I like that crunch. And this is about 2 cups. Alright, our dough is nicely mixed together. I'm just going to scrape some of this cookie dough off of the beater. And then, so this is what the cookie dough looks like. It's very thick, very pliable. You can actually make a ball and roll balls if you want to put your cookie dough in balls. I typically just spoon it with a spoon and make them more home style, like what I remember. So I'm gonna get my pans and I'm gonna start putting cookie dough. You're gonna bake these at 350 degrees for about 12 minutes. You want to try to make them as even as possible, but you don't have to be too precise with it. And you want to check them while you're baking them, that you're not over baking them. And they should be light in color. I'll let you see what they look like when they come out of the oven. So, yeah, but I always had fun baking cookies. It's always been a fun thing. My mom, because there are so many of us, there's 7 children in my family, and my mom would bake cookies. We didn't get bought cookies in the store very often. Most of the time my mom, she would buy chocolate chips, and she would make a big batch of chocolate chips, and then she would freeze the cookies once they were baked, and then we would have cookies, you know, for a while. When you have a large family, you know, parents still want to provide the things that kids like, and cookies is something that kids like. And so, you know, if she bought a bag of Oreos, a bag of Oreos wouldn't last. It wouldn't last hardly a day. With all the hands going in, she would hardly get a bag. You know, it's something, you know, how much, you know, kids are influenced by all of these commercials and stuff. You know, we had the best thing. We had Mom's homemade cookies, but we couldn't wait for when she would buy some Oreos or some Chips Ahoy, you know. Yeah, I have a nephew, he actually thinks that Chips Ahoy and, you know, Oreos, those are the best cookies ever. Like, you know, he has no clue what he's missing in a homemade cookie. But, you know, everybody does the best they can do and do what they do. And I do my best to show my nieces and nephews the way. When I come around them, I bake for them. I bake cookies, I make cakes, I make pies. I make all types of things for them so that they know what they can do, what's available. So I'm going to go ahead and put these in the oven, and once they're baked, I will come back and let you see what we've done. So stay tuned. Hi, and welcome back. Our cookies are baked, and they are golden brown and delicious. Yes. Oh, they're so soft. Oh. A little bit of crunch from the peanuts and from the edges, but just enough salty and sweet. They're so peanut buttery, so moist, so delicious. I hope you try this recipe. It's so delicious and so easy to make. So friends, please remember to subscribe and hit that notification bell so that you can be notified every time I upload a new video. Thanks for watching. God bless you. Have a blessed week. See you next time.